My name's Brian, and we're going to show you how to make money now with today's rules. And I wanted to point that out first because I need the disclaimer, right? And when I say make money now, I don't mean today, right? I don't even mean tomorrow. You've seen all the false promises. You've seen all the people promise you instant riches for doing nothing. You're here because you're tired of that. I'm going to respect that. And over the next few videos that are all on this page, you're going to learn how to get leverage. Okay, you're going to learn how everyday folks are making money online. All those people you see when you're scrolling social media, you're like, God, making money online is real. I know it is, and I just don't understand it, right? And that's the frustrating part that I wanted to eliminate from your journey, because you already know most people are showing you how much money they're making, telling you can make money, but requiring you to buy a course first. And you're probably okay with investing in your business. Most sane people know that they have to invest in a business. You know that. But what's frustrating is when you don't even understand what the heck is going on, and people asking for $500,000, $2,000 up front, right? So that's what we're going to do in this series, is just break it all down for you, okay? So first of all, why this course, right? Why this free course? A lot of free stuff is garbage. And this is not that. That's the one thing that I can promise you. I'm not going to promise you this is going to make you $1 million next month, but what I can promise you is this is the information that you're not getting on the internet, right? And why this course? Because me, right? Quite honestly. I started in 2012, so I've been making money online for 13, almost 14 years now. I went full-time in 2016 after I met my first mentor, Alex Becker. I started my first 7-figure campaign in 2020. I had multiple 6-figure campaigns and multiple 6-figure campaigns before that. But my first 7-figure campaign started in 2020, and then I did essentially the exact same thing with a different business, and started my second 7-figure campaign in 2022. And now this is what I do. I help people who want to make money online. And I know where you're at. I know how it feels. I am not a internet ninja, okay? This is me, just like probably so many people have tried before. This is when we were living in Dallas, Texas still, and I was sitting on my couch, and I had my little $300 laptop, and I was trying to figure out how to make money online. And, this is me a few years later after winning the 2 Comma Club awards. So I've kind of went through the whole process, but I started probably below where you're at right now, or very close to it. I was just a waiter waiting tables and trying to figure it out. The other reason I think this course is going to be so beneficial to you is because the game changed in early 2025, and most people don't realize it yet, right? The internet and opportunities and traffic and all those things you've considered in the past, they go in cycles. Things change, and so I want to show you what's working right now, which is the same thing that worked in 2014, which is the same thing that worked in 2019. And most importantly, this course is not going to be an info dump where I'm just going to teach you stuff that doesn't make sense, right? It's going to be a demonstration of leverage. By the time you get through the videos on this page, you're going to know how a business functions, how you get paid, where the money comes from, and what you need to do to get leverage in the space, okay? Cool. So who is this for, right? Are you in the right spot is the question. Well, this is going to be for absolute beginners who want to see the clear roadmap. I know there's a lot of people sitting on the other side of social media right now thinking, this is great, I want to do something. I know it's time to take action, but I don't see anything that looks doable because I don't see anything I understand, right? If that's you, this is going to be the best thing you've ever seen. If you're a struggling newbie where you're already trying to make money online, you're doing the work, you're showing up, but things aren't happening, right? The accounts aren't really growing fast enough. The money's not coming in fast enough, right? It's even hard to get leads. It just doesn't feel like there's any momentum. This is going to absolutely be for you because you're going to figure out what you're missing. And even if you've made some sales, but you're lacking consistency, once again, the theme for this whole course on this entire page is I'm going to help you find leverage in this game. Okay, because it doesn't have to be hard. Right? The answer is not work harder. I'm not going to say it's easy and you can do nothing, but the answer is never work harder, put more hours in, right? That you got to find the leverage because we do this for the dream, right? We don't get into the make money online space to create a second job. We get in this space to eventually live the dream. And that's what I want you to remember if you're watching this right now. The potential is massive for anyone, okay? Everyone can see massive potential. So don't come into this course thinking, oh gosh, if I could just make $500 a month, that would be great. If that's your goal, that's fine. But I can promise you, anything you do, no matter what the gurus tell you, no matter what the person on social media is promising, everything is going to take work. Everything is going to take work. So I want to encourage you to dream bigger, because that's what I'm going to show you. I'm going to show you the framework that can, realistically make $30,000 or $40,000 a month. Okay, once again, that's not a promise, right? Your results are going to depend on you. But this framework is going to give you leverage, and there's real potential here. And my friend always used to say, it doesn't cost any more to dream big than dream small. So dream big, what that'll do is that'll keep you motivated, and that will help you find the power to actually go out there, learn the skills, and do the work. Cool? All right. So what this is not going to require as we go through this free course is any experience. If you don't have any experience, you're going to be fine. You just got to pay attention. You don't need an existing email list or following or any of that stuff, right? You don't need to already be an influencer. We're not going to be creating any products. You're not going to have to make anything to sell, right? I always pick on the Etsy custom tumblers people make. It's great if you're doing that, but that's just so much work. We're going to eliminate a lot of that type of stuff, right? There's nothing to make or sell, to sell. I'm not going to ask you to learn a bunch of side hustles that are still trading time for money, because that's what we want to get away from, right? We don't have to put in 4 hours after work every single day to make your money. Okay? You don't need tech skills. We're going to handle all that for you. This is really just a people business, not a technology business. You're not going to need money for ads, or you're not going to need to take on a lot of risk. Okay? I think that's important. At least it was for me when I got started, because I was, once again, waiting tables. We were still living in San Diego at this point. I had a newborn baby. I couldn't take on a bunch of risk. I had to do something that would grow and would work without me investing thousands and thousands and thousands of dollars, okay? So here's basically the set of tools that we're going to use for what I'm going to show you in this free course, okay? We're going to use social media, and this is usually the first place where people start to panic. And that's why I wanted to get it out of the way first. I just want to be honest and give you a realistic expectation here. People panic about social media. Now, you're not going to have to be a social media influencer across all platforms. You only have to choose one social media platform that you want to leverage. But it is required, because people think about social media and they kind of get a little scared and a little fearful. And really what social media is, this is how I see social media. Social media just removed the gatekeepers that used to keep people like us out of starting a business. Okay, so what does that mean? Well, think about before social media. If you wanted to start a business or sell something, right? Because starting a business generally requires selling something, because money comes from other people. But if you wanted to start a business, what did you have to do? Right? You had to get your message out. So you had to pay magazines or TVs or radio stations or newspapers. You had to pay them a bunch of money, because they were the gatekeepers of the distribution of information. What social media did, if we just break it down to the terms of starting a business, social media allowed us to pick up our phone and share our message, right? That's the first mindset shift that we need to have. This is how we get our message out. You're going to have to get your message out to have a business, to make money. This just makes it free, allows us to practice for free, allows us to get leverage for free, and allows us to reach billions of people for free. Okay? A lot of people like to start on TikTok. I think that's why we had such a boom in 2020 and 2021 with first-time entrepreneurs learning how to make money online, because there was, obviously the pandemic and all that stuff, but there was a sense of anonymity. I can never say that. You could be more anonymous, right? So if you don't want to go on Facebook or Instagram because all your friends are there, use TikTok, right? If you don't want to go on YouTube because it's really scary, use LinkedIn. If you don't want to go on LinkedIn, you could use Threads or whatever. Right? You just have to pick one that you feel the most comfortable on and leverage this gift that's been given to regular folks, okay? So that's the first thing we're going to use. We're going to use social media. We're going to use software. One piece of software, super simple. Don't be afraid. I'm going to show you how this all works later on. But here's what I wanted to point out right in the beginning. We're going to use a software that's free to start with. And this isn't free like you get 7 days. This isn't free like, oh, but to do anything, I have to upgrade. There's a lot of softwares out there like that, but this is actually free. You can run your entire business off of this free software. And if you ever decide you want to upgrade to add more automation or get more features, the next tier up is only $17 a month. And this is a great software. I have used it, I've sold with it, I've made money with it. I know people who do really well with it. It's just a great piece of software. Once again, you can actually make money without having to pay or even put your credit card into this software. Cool? And finally, the last thing we're going to use is we're going to use strategic partnership leverage. Okay, that's just a fancy way of saying we are going to leverage other people's products, right? Because if you have a business, you need something to sell. But what we're going to do is instead of creating stuff, we're going to leverage these strategic partnerships to sell other people's stuff, and they're going to pay us a hefty commission. Cool? So if this all sounds good, if you're ready to finally figure this all out, I'm excited to teach you. The next step will just be to scroll down to the next video, follow these in order. They are set up so they make the most sense to you, so we actually build